Valve is considered to be one of the most legendary pioneers in the gaming industry. After making games for over 2 decades, they have left a mark on the gaming world only a few others managed to. But in recent years, their release schedule for new titles has gotten visibly sparser. Why is this happening? Is Valve's domination over the gaming industry finally coming to an end? Welcome to Cold Brew, let's find out. In 1996, Gabe Newell and Mike Harrington leave Microsoft and in August of that year found Valve. The duo was convinced that video games were the future of entertainment, although they did not have many hopes for the company. To quote Newell, they would have a stab at it for a year, fail miserably, tuck their tails and eventually go back to working at Microsoft. Newell and Harrington released their first title, Half-Life, in 1998. Unexpectedly to the pair, the game blew up, single-handedly revolutionizing first-person shooters as we know them today. It is now one of the most influential titles in the history of video games. Fans of the game took the Source engine, the engine on which the hit game was built, and started modding it, creating pretty much brand new games from the core mechanics and assets of Half-Life. After Harrington left Valve in 2000, Gabe Newell and his crew pumped out hit after hit, most of which were originally mods of Half-Life that were then adopted by the company and made into sequels or standalone titles. For example, some original mods such as Counter-Strike, Team Fortress, Day of Defeat, and Ricochet have been embraced by Valve and made into commercial games. Valve launched Steam in 2003, and with the release of the long-awaited Half-Life 2, which was only accessible through Steam, it gained a lot of traction and rapidly grew a user base. With the huge influx of users, Valve made it possible so that other developers could upload and sell their games through the Steam platform, as long as Valve gets a percent of the profits. This insane drive of new games being sold through the platform turned Valve into one of the most successful companies of the time. By moving from a classical physical marketplace, for example CDs or cartridges, they completely changed the gaming market to a digital environment. This way, Valve grew giant in the industry. However, the company's game development and release rate has slowed significantly in the past 10 years. Sure, they have released some titles such as Artifact and Half-Life Alyx and have confirmed that they're working on some new single-player titles, but Valve's schedule is not as busy with releases as it was in the 2000s. What is the cause behind this? Frankly, the real reason behind this is quite simple. Valve doesn't need to actively develop games anymore. Let me explain. Considering the enormous monopoly Valve has built over its lifetime, a steady flow of passive income from in-game purchases, Steam and its community market has grown. With the introduction of Steam trading, a whole new virtual economy began to form in Steam's environment. This trading traffic generated a lot of money from the market fee, while still holding a relatively stable and functioning virtual economy. We're not gonna talk about the Great Depression of 2019. Frequent seasonal updates to existing titles such as CSGO, Dota, and TF2 also keep these hit multiplayer games profitable. Additionally, Valve is experimenting with some new technology and software, such as the Steam Deck and Source 2, a more powerful Source engine capable of handling and rendering much better graphics. It's the engine Half-Life Alyx runs on. These, of course, take much longer to research and develop. So let's recap. Valve's powerful position in the gaming industry granted it a strong flow of passive income, such as the community market, Steam itself, and games released by the company. Keeping the popular games updated also secures their profitability. A lack of pressure for more games also plays an important role. The fact that releases have become more and more scarce does not mean that Valve is dying, and the dominating force of the industry probably won't step down from this pedestal anytime soon. Videos like these take me hours of time and effort to produce, and it would totally make my day if you could like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. It's free and you can unsubscribe at any time. That's all for today's episode. Till next time.